What up, Guardians? My name is The Cell Games, and today Xur is in the EDZ. You can find him over here in the Winding Cave on the lower left side of the map. Let's go see what he's got for us today. As always, looks like he's got his exotic Engram, so if you have the spare shards and you're looking to fill out your collection, grab it. But if you already have everything, you'll get an exotic that you already have with possibly higher stats. Gave me the one-eyed mask, and it's got some decent resilience, discipline, and strength, but not necessarily what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. And as always, if you're new or returning to the game, be sure to pick up your exotic cipher quest so you can get the previous season's exotics, as well as if you already have caught up, you can use the exotic cipher to get another exotic from Xur. Looks like he's brought the Season of the Forge armor back. Let's see if he's brought some decent stats for the Titan. Got some high stats on the gauntlets, but not necessarily what you're looking for unless you want to make a melee build. Chest piece is, we're not even going to talk about that. Class item is a class item. Helmet is meh, and the boots are meh. Oh, I did not know that he could bring weapons from each other playlist. This is interesting. So he's got a frozen orbit with surplus and box breathing, which is not the worst, but this sets up him to have the potential of bringing maybe a triple tap Vorpal one. So yeah, I did not know that he does that. He's got an Honor's Edge with Tireless Blade and Shattering Blade. You can get better. Got a Hip Fire, Rampage, Long Shadow, meh. Timeless Vertex with Demolitionist and Firmly Planted. An Adaptive Frame. I would say this is more of a PvP role. You know, maybe if you want to slide into engagements and get your if you have a grenade build, but other than that, I would say pass on this if you're looking for a PvE fusion rifle. Got a Last Dance with Threat Detector Rangefinder, excuse me. It's decent PvP, I guess. 7 Seraph Officer Revolver with Pulse Monitor and Feeding Frenzy, pass. You really want time payload or maybe Vorpal weapon on this. And the 7 Seraph Carbine with auto-loading holster and rangefinder. I could see you using this in PvP, but not PvE. And now for the pièce de résistance, exotic weapons and armor. This week he's got the Monte Carlo. Its exotic perk is called Monte Carlo Method. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. It's on par with Swashbuckler. Essentially, it stacks up to about 5. If you want to make a melee build, I would say grab this. It's actually a pretty good auto rifle. You don't really see too much play out of it, but there's no real reason actually for you not to use this, especially if you're a Titan and you like to punch things. So yeah, if you don't already have this, go ahead and grab it. It's also got some decent ornaments, but I've only gotten one. And now to the exotic armor. You've got the Liar's Handshake with a 59 total stat roll, Saint-14 helm with 62, and the Cause of Ahamkara with 63. Starting off with the Liar's Handshake, exotic perk is called Cross Counter. Using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee ability will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. You can make a really good melee build, especially considering that you have Monte Carlo sitting there waiting for you to grab it. If you don't already have one, I would say grab this one. 59 rolls kind of low, and it doesn't really have any stats. It doesn't have any stats that lean towards anything that you would really want. So if you don't already have this, I would say unlock this from here and then start grinding for a better roll. There's some pretty good melee builds that you'd come up with. A Top Tree Arc Strider. So yeah, grab this. All right, next exotic on the list is called the Helm of Saint 14. Its exotic perk is called Starless Light. Enemies that enter Ward of Dawn are blinded, while allies pass through and gain an overshield. Guarding the Sentinel Shield binds nearby enemies. As we stated earlier, it's got a total stat roll of 62. Resilience is 19, which is good for a Titan. Recovery is 11, which is okay. Intellect is 17, which is good considering that this exotic affects your super. If you don't already have a better roll of this is pretty top tier. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, they've changed the Ward of Dawn to its health being affected by your resilience. So it having high resilience here is pretty good for you. If you are a Titan main and you don't, for some reason, focus on resilience, I don't know what kind of game you've been playing for the past couple of years, but yeah, it shouldn't really affect you given the fact that most Titans should have high resilience anyway. And it's got a pretty decent ornament here that that increases, brings it closer to its original look. Definitely grab this. And for our last exotic, we have the Cause of Ahamkara, and its exotic perk is you gain an additional melee charge. Pretty simple. Grab it. If you don't already have a decent one, it's got 15 strength, 20 recovery, and some decent resilience, especially now that resilience affects your well health. This is not bad if you want to make a melee healer build. For middle tree Dawnblade and top tree Dawnblade gets some better use out of this, and I believe bottom tree's melee just got buffed, so experiment and see what kind of builds you can come up with. I'm pretty sure warlocks can come up with some pretty good builds. It's kind of ironic considering that Monte Carlo's here and you got two melee centric exotics. Manchu 44's got boss spec and targeting adjuster. You definitely want boss spec for PvE, and you more than likely want targeting adjuster for PvP. For 801, she's got sword reserves and chosen of the Warmind. Collecting or destroying a Warmind cell creates a concussive blast that pushes enemies away. Definitely pick them up from each vendor. That'll be all for today's video. Let me know what you'll be picking up from each vendor in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative and made it to the end, please drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And be sure to stick around for future Destiny 2 videos. I'm going to be start working on some builds that I can ship out and hopefully help you guys with your in-game content soon. Got to start working on scripts and builds and stuff like that. And if you think I've earned a subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new Destiny 2 video. Once again, my name has been Games. Thanks for watching.